It is Friday, March 12. Welcome to CGN News. A new coronavirus variant has been identified in the UK in two people who recently traveled to Antigua. The strain shares some traits with other coronavirus variants, but would not be categorized as, quote, concerning for now, Public Health England said. It was designated a new variant on March 4 after it was found in the southeast of England in two people. Variants are mutant versions of the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. These can be increased transmissibility or an ability to beat the protection offered by vaccines. The Jamaican government says the COVID-19 vaccination program will continue as it is comfortable with the AstraZeneca shot. This after some European states suspended use over blood clot concerns from a group of people. More than 3,000 Jamaicans have been vaccinated since Jamaica started administering the AstraZeneca vaccine from Monday's arrival of a gift of 50,000 doses from India. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said, "There's no reason to stop using the vaccine which the World Health Organization approved for emergency use last month." The St. Lucia Employers Federation has warned against making it mandatory for employees to take the COVID-19 vaccine, saying it could open the door to legal action. Executive Director of the Employers Federation, Goretti Paul, says that while the U.S. may be able to make it mandatory for persons to take their vaccine, in St. Lucia the Labor Act does not allow that. The choice to take the vaccine is a personal one, Paul told Loop News. She said an employer can provide information on the pros and cons of taking a vaccine, but for an employer to force the vaccine on its staff would be a violation. The government of the Bahamas is scheduled to begin its COVID-19 vaccination program next week following the arrival of $20,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine on Wednesday. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says a trial run of the vaccine program will be held this week. An IT program has been completed to ensure the registration of individuals. Dr. Minnis says as the vaccine implementation commences, the public will receive more information from the government. The mandatory quarantine period in Cayman will be reduced from 14 days to 10 days effective March 22. Premier Alden McLaughlin made the announcement Wednesday as Cayman reached its target of vaccinating 90% of the over 60 population. There are 5,000 people living in the Cayman Islands who are aged 60 or over. Travelers to the territory will continue to be required to provide a negative PCR result from a test taken within 72 hours of travel, as well as a negative result from a test taken at the airport upon arrival. Overseas now, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has urged Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign over allegations of sexual misconduct. Cuomo, who is already being investigated after 5 women accused him of sexual harassment, is now facing allegations of assault from a 6th. The governor has denied all of the allegations against him. Mayor de Blasio told reporters on Thursday that Cuomo called an employee to a private place and then sexually assaulted her. Cuomo's term in office comes to an end in 2022. Thailand has delayed the rollout of the AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine over reports of blood clots. The country's prime minister and several cabinet ministers were due to kick off the country's vaccination drive by getting the jab today. This has now been cancelled. The delay comes after a number of countries, including Denmark and Norway, suspended the use of the jab. Around 5 million Europeans have already received the AstraZeneca vaccine. Of this figure, about 30 cases had reported thromboembolic events or developing blood clots. The European Medicines Agency said on Thursday that there was no indication the jab was causing the blood clots, adding that its benefits continue to outweigh its risks. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres slammed the many examples of vaccine nationalism, hoarding, and side deals that undermine access to all people in the world. In a statement marking 1 year since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic, Guterres states that, quote, The global vaccination campaign represents the greatest moral test of our times. Ensuring that all people are vaccinated is essential to restart the global economy and help the world move from locking down societies to locking down the virus, end quote, he said. Guterres reiterated his call for COVID-19 vaccines to be seen as a global public good. Netflix is preparing a trial on crackdown on password sharing. Some users have reported seeing a screen saying, quote, "If you don't live with the owner of this account, you need your own account to keep watching," end quote. A spokesperson told the BBC that the test is designed to help ensure that people using Netflix accounts are authorized to do so. In the trial, users can verify they are allowed to access the account by a code sent via text or email. A decision has yet to be made as to whether the company will roll this out across its network. And finally, King Goodwill Zwelithini, the traditional leader of South Africa's Zulu nation, has died aged 72 after being hospitalized for more than a month, his palace announced on Friday. Zwelithini had health problems related to diabetes, according to local news reports. The king wielded great influence among millions of Zulus through his largely ceremonial and spiritual role, despite having no official power in modern South Africa. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa issued a message of condolence, lauding the late king for his contribution to the country. Zwelithini, the 8th Zulu king, reigned for more than 50 years, making him the longest-serving Zulu monarch. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.